I think what you should try to do is try to approach food with an equanimity of your mood.
I don't know. I feel like every time I go to the grocery store, though, all the root beer zeros are gone. All the Sprite zeros are gone. And then like all the full sugar ones they're jam packed. So I don't know if it's a supply demand thing, or like inventory type thing, but I don't know. It seems like there is at least more awareness these days, though.
Yeah, that's a nice shift.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good start.
Yeah,
I mean, siphon out their, siphon off the money they make off the products that have sugar, and siphon off the money that comes in from all the fucking potato chips and all the other things that are in the grocery store. It would be hard, but just imagine if everybody, I mean, we don't want everybody to be the same, but imagine if everyone turned into Paul Saladino tomorrow. How long would the food industry have to, how long would they last? They would be in a fucking huge panic. They would be losing billions of dollars. It'd be harder to find fruit. It might be harder to find meat. We might have to try to beat up Paul to get the good stuff.
Yeah.
But it would send everything into a huge tailspin. And I think it's part of the reason why Coke is touting Coke Zero as being the best, because I think they see it as a huge opportunity to pump that out. They're like, we can get this out and we can be in front of everybody, even though they've had it out for a little bit.
Yeah.
We're going to say this is the best Coke ever. This is our flagship product now. Regular Coke's going to take a back seat. And they already know, 10 years from now, people are going to go nuts about sucralose. So we're going to bring the sugar one back, and it's going to have a little less sugar. We're going to reformulate it. It's going to taste about the same and have 25% less sugar. And boom, we're going to sell the fuck out of that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The natural sugar push, because it's healthier, will come eventually.
Right.
Finish out this video?
Yeah, let's keep playing it.
For relationships with food and disordered eating.
Instead of focusing on good and bad choices, try to approach food with neutrality in mind.
The only foods that are bad for you are foods that contain allergens.
I think that can be a fairly healthy thing, is to approach food with some neutrality. And they go on a little bit, I think, about saying earning, certain things. That can get to be a weird spot. But if you have Ben and Jerry's, what would you if you had Ben and Jerry's tonight? What would be your protocol the next day? Or would you not think about it at all and just down to Ben and Jerry's?
Yeah, I had Ben and Jerry's last night.
There you go.
I had Ben and Jerry's last night, but the thing is I'm very
You're
aware.
onto some new shit, right? What's the one of your...
What you got?
Whiskey Biz?
Oh, yeah.
Still on it. I was on Give Me S'more and Whiskey Biz, but I'm on Whiskey Biz still. It's pretty good. Y'all should try it, but don't go too crazy.
It's not necessarily a bad food.
but I'm aware about how much food I eat each day, right? So it's if I do have that, I mean, this isn't like I'm earning it, but if I did a lot of exercise that day and I ate some meat, I got my protein in, and I'm like, still a little bit hungry, I'll have the Ben and Jerry's without guilt, literally no guilt. This is the thing, though, that I think should be careful with the way she's talking about this. She says, approach food with neutrality in mind. I think what you should try to do is try to approach food with an equanimity of your mood. Power Project family, how's it going? So no matter what diet you're on or no matter what supplements you take, it's necessary as you get older to know what's going on under the hood. That's why I've partnered with Merrick Health. They're the premium telehealth clinic owned by Derek from More Plates, More Dates. And we have a panel that will allow you to get all of your labs done and checked in a super easy fashion. Andrew, how can they get it?
Yeah, you guys got to head over to merrickhealth.com/powerproject. That's MAREK health.com/powerproject. And at checkout, enter promo code PowerProject to save $101 off of this comprehensive panel. Links to them down in the description, as well as the podcast show notes.
I am very aware that the Ben and Jerry's that I eat is not nutritionally a solid food, and I know it's not as good as everything else I do eat. I know that. So I don't think that these foods are the same. These doesn't have the same micronutrient profile as healthy food, doesn't have all the other benefits that these other foods have, right? But I'm still going to approach it without feeling guilty. Neutral. I'm going to approach it with equanimity, right? But I'm very aware it's not the same. That's how we should be approaching this shit. We shouldn't be saying, oh yeah, that Doritos is the same thing as that apple, right? Even if sometimes the macros are the same, it is not the same. So That's rough. And you mentioned something earlier, how this can be harder for people who are heavier.
This can be really hard for people that are heavier. They just don't have the ability to maybe flow with things because they maybe haven't built in the strategies just yet. And even if they have a little bit of strategy, it's just hard because it's all or nothing. How many people have we helped over the years, and how many people have we seen where they're like, yeah, I was on, I was doing good, and then I went off, and like, we're thinking, man, like, God, that's so depressing. Like, there is no off. There's no off the diet.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the diet. You chose to eat something slightly off plan. You chose to eat something that you had a craving towards, which is great because now hopefully you got the craving out of you. Now it's time to just recalibrate and get right back on that plan again. Because remember, the plan is what's working. It's how you lost 10 pounds. It's how you lost 20 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So we need you to continue on the plan. You're never without a plan. You need a plan. In today's world, I think you need some sort of dietary strategy leaving your house because there's so much convenient food all over the place. So you need to know when you're going to eat. You need to know where you're going to eat from. I mean, these are just simple things I've been talking about for a really long time. I don't know if I didn't know. I have my freezer like full of particular meat that I can like defrost at any time. I realize not everyone has like same setup, but I have an idea of where my food's going to come from later in the day.
Yeah.
And I do my best to stay out in front of that and stay prepared. And it was harder when I didn't have money. Like there were more considerations that I had to have. But I always knew when I was going to eat and I always knew where I was going to eat. And we hear people make a lot of excuses. They're like, wow, my schedule's really weird, so I'm not sure when I'm going to eat. And it's like, well, you're probably home twice a day. You probably wake up in a house or apartment every day. And you probably come back to that spot at night. So there's 2 times a day that you should be able to cook something up. Eggs, meat, eat some fruit, whatever the hell your diet is even, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those should be 2 areas where you should be able to get in something nutritious. But a lot of people that are heavier, that are inexperienced with their diet, they haven't really navigated it successfully yet. They can't be wishy-washy. It has to be they need like black and white rules. Like, I'm doing this all the way until this date. And then on this day, I get to have a cheat meal. And then as soon as that cheat meal's over, the next day I have, this meal. And it has to be super specific. And it sucks, but how else do you get yourself out of it unless you start to develop like a routine and some habits?
Peeps, we love bringing you all this fitness information, and we also want to help bring that information to more people. So if you could help us out, hit that red subscribe button and then hit the notification bell, and we'll continue to bring you the heat. And I won't whisper in your ear. Talk to you guys later.